Well, good morning from a very, very cold Anfield. Home, of course, to Liverpool Football Club. And you're probably thinking, what on earth am I doing showing you a football stadium when I'm a photography channel? Well, that's a very good question. I'm filming this in the few weeks leading up to Christmas, but you're not going to see it on the channel until the new year. And there is a reason for that, which I'll tell you about once we get into the park here. Liverpool as a city is what you might call football obsessed. And there are two Premier League teams based in the city itself. Liverpool, which you can see behind me, and behind the camera, at the moment anyway, is Goodison Park, which is the home of Everton Football Club. Now they're shortly to move. They've got a new stadium down on the waterfront. And they're separated by this rather large and rather wonderful park, Stanley Park. Still don't know why I'm showing you this, do you? Well, football really is, it's a religion almost in the city. And Anfield, if you're a Red supporter that is a revered place. People worship that ground. They worship the players and they worship managers, both current and from years gone by. And the camera that I'm going to talk about is equally revered, if not worshipped. And I've been very fortunate to have the use of it for a couple of months, really, give or take, by my good friend Nick during the meanwhilest. We did a camera exchange, I guess you'd say. I sent him my Olympus EM1 Mark II, and he has kindly loaned me his rather lovely D700 with the 105 micro nickel. So I'm going to find somewhere to sit down and start to give you my opinions on it. For those of you technically minded, I'm actually filming this in a flat profile, and then in editing I'm going to put it through a cinematic LUT for the first time. So we'll have to see what that looks like, if it even makes it onto the channel itself. Well, here we are, and behind me you can see we've got Goodison Park in the distance there, and I'm standing in Stanley Park itself. This, point number one, is not going to be any kind of review. This is purely my opinions on this very well regarded 2008 vintage DSLR. Nick has been trying to convince me to buy one of these for probably the best part of 2 years now, and I have resisted. And I have to be honest, Nick, I'm quite glad I resisted. This really is an opinion piece in two halves. This combination, the body with the 105 micro nickel and a battery, is 4 pounds in weight, or 1.8 kilos. Now, to give you an idea, that is nearly half the weight of my EM1 with the 12-40 2.8 Pro lens, and there's a big difference in the actual bulk as well. I don't even want to make you think about the comparison in size and weight between this and the Olympus Pen F, which of course is a favourite camera of mine, as well as the EM1. There is no comparison. Now, of course, we're not comparing apples with apples. we're comparing apples with grapes in many ways, aren't we? The D700, of course, given that it's 2008 vintage, is full frame sensor, CMOS, and of course my Olympus cameras are micro four thirds. Now, that's the biggest single difference. Now, this is only 12 megapixels, so please folks, all you guys out there that rave about, oh, it's no good if it's not got at least 20 or 40 or more pixels, megapixels, that's a load of baloney. 12 megapixels on a full frame sensor is, I have to be honest with you. Another thing that you might say about this, it's got one card slot and it's compact flash. So what? If you know the channel, you'll probably realise my opinion on the criticism that cameras get when they've only got one card slot. It's never been an issue for me, and it certainly would not be the thing that prevented me from buying one of these. It is purely the bulk and weight. I have been using it already for a couple of weeks, intermittently, both around town and in my local parks, doing a variety of shots, some macro, some general purpose, and I'm going to space them, probably some of them at least, during the course of this video, to avoid any jump cuts mainly. And the results are sublime. The rendering that this gives is just a fantastic combination. Whether it's the sensor on its own or whether it's the combination of the sensor and the lens, I don't know. But believe me, the backgrounds on these are just to die for. Okay, now you can say that it does have other limitations. The ISO range is from 200 to 6004. I've not pushed it, I've not had to. I suspect at the upper end it's going to be a little bit noisy, but not to the point where it's unusable. Maybe somebody out there will correct me, Nick, if you've got opinions on that. If you've used it at 6004, please let me know. When it comes to the actual ergonomics of the thing, for me personally, this has been relearning DSLRs. It's more than 5 years ago that I got rid of my Canon 5D outfit, and of course Nikon always has been different to the layout of Canons. It's been pretty easy for me to relearn it. You have to get used to the limitations. Live view you can activate, of course, but it's nothing like as good as you will get on a current mirrorless camera. The shutter sound is fantastic. I guess that's something that I miss. As you know, I've got a Sony A7 Mark II now, and the shutter noise on that is nothing compared to this. It's just lovely. In fact, I'm just going to fire one off now so you can hear it. Just typical Nikon shutter sound. Would I advise anybody to buy one? 100% yes, provided that you are going to be able to carry it. Now, it's not just a case of carrying the camera and one lens. This thing will fit in my Billingham bag, as you see here, but it's just that in the Billingham bag. There would be room for maybe another 2 lenses, to be fair, but not 2 lenses combined with my Osmo Pocket 3 and other bits and pieces that I carry with me. So you have to be prepared to pack a slightly bigger holdall and to put up with the weight. £4 in the hand, you certainly know you've got a camera. And but my goodness me, it's built like a tank, as you would expect, being a professional DSLR from Nikon. Viewfinder is fantastic, but it's really leaving all that aside, it's down to the image quality. Now I'm going to leave it up to you out there to let me know what you think. I'm sold on the image quality 100%. If anybody out there is considering buying one, my suggestion would be to make sure you get as mint an example as possible. Bear in mind, a lot of these were hammered by professionals back in the day, so you need to look for a decent copy. If it's really tatty, steer clear of it, unless it's like 50 quid. But these go for very reasonable amounts of money now. The lens is an absolute gem. I'm not sure what other ones Nick has got for this. I'm probably quite glad he didn't send me anything else. I would like to try this with a standard nifty 50. Just a humble 1.8 would be nice. And that would make a more ergonomic combination. But my goodness me, the results out of this can be quite stunning. If you are into your macro work, that combination right there is going to take an awful lot of beating, trust me. Now I may or may not add to this. As I say, I'm filming this before the Christmas holiday period. I'm keeping the camera until the good old Royal Mail has calmed down. We don't want it to get lost on its way back down to South Wales. So I've got much more opportunity to use it. Fingers crossed we get some nice frosty mornings and things like that. It's been an absolute honour to use it, I would say that much. Just like the 60-odd thousand fans and spectators that pack into Anfield every time, and a few less over the way in Goodison, it is quite rightly revered and in some cases worshipped. And I do think, Nick, I know you wanted an honest opinion from me, I do think the reputation is well deserved. For now, from Stanley Park, I'm going to say goodbye, but this may not be the end of the video. So stay tuned, and you are going to see some of the images taken on this in any case. I hope you like some of them. Bye bye for now.